This bill is now read for the third time and passed.
31 days after submission by the executive, the 2024 Appropriation Bill is now ready for presidential assent. The harmonized report from Senate Appropriation Committee was approved, which contained an additional 1.2 trillion naira.
The closely and harmonious appropriation process, the executive forwarded requests for additional funding and some item of expenditure to the committee, which were not included in the bill as submitted by the executive.
There was also adjustment on the exchange rate. It's now 800 naira to the dollar against the proposed 750 naira. President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, reaffirmed commitments of the National Assembly to engender deliverance of good governance by working hand in hand with the executive.
We will continue to labor diligently to ensure that the bill is promptly transmitted to Mr. President for his immediate assent, enabling its implementation to commence on January 1st, 2024. I also wish to express my deep appreciation to my esteemed colleagues for your patience. This selfless service, I must say, exemplifies the sacrifices that the National Assembly consistently makes for the progress and development of our great nation.
Also, as the special plenary, Deputy President of the Senate, Barrow Jibrin, and Senator Jimo Ibrahim raised motions on the demise of former Speaker, House of Representatives, Gali Umar Naabba, and the late Governor of Ondo State, Oluwarotimi Akeredolu.
Rugged fighter who stood firm for the independence of the legislature. You will ever be remembered for the sacrifice he made.
Rotimi Akeredolu came as a legend, a man who served his people.
A minute's silence was observed in honor of each of the deceased. The recent killings in Plateau State also led the Senate to pass a resolution to invite security chiefs. Senators sympathized with victims of the heinous attack following a motion from Senator Diket Plank.
This recent attack appears to be a well-coordinated and well-orchestrated, with about 20 villages being attacked simultaneously.
What happened in Bokos is unprecedented.
The issue of Mango, many people were killed around Kera. Where was the Air Force? Where are the helicopters?
Meanwhile, Senate has approved securitization of outstanding ways and means of 7.3 trillion naira. The medium-term expenditure framework 2022 to 2026 was also adjusted to reflect the changes in the 2024 budget, while the 2022 to 2024 external borrowing rolling plan was also approved. After the passage of the budget, the Senate made a pledge that it will ensure that MDAs, that is ministries, departments and agencies of government, implement the 2024 appropriation in line with the spirit and letters of the budget document. I'll now hand you over to my colleague Mitare Ikpen, who is at the House of Representatives.
Thank you, Lami. The House of Representatives equally passed the 2024 appropriation bill of 28.7 trillion naira, which was 1.2 trillion naira higher than the estimates the President presented to the House. I had opportunity to speak with the Chairman House Committee on Appropriation to provide further insight into the reasons for increase in the estimates.
We had a meeting with the GOEs. We believe that their submission is not enough, so that they have agreed to increase their revenues to 700 billion. So when we increase that, we are able to get that to 1.2 trillion, which we applied in capital.
The MDAs should not wait for the funds to be released. They should quickly swing into action as soon as the budget is signed by commencing the procurement planning.
And my hope is that this budget will have more impact on the rural areas, especially if you look at my constituency, for instance.
After 1 month of scrutiny, the House at the Committee on Supply passed the appropriation bill of 28.7 trillion naira.
Bill read for the third time and passed.
The House also approved President Tinubu's request for securitization of 7.3 trillion naira ways and means. being the last sitting of the House for the year, Speaker Tajuddin Abbas, in closing remarks, says review of the Electoral Act 2022 will be priority in the new year.
On strengthening it to deliver more free and fair elections and reduce the judiciary's influence on the electoral processes.
The House adopted a motion to investigate the Christmas Eve killings in Plateau State.
To provide aerial surveillance and support to flush out criminal hideouts.
I am tired of standing every day to observe 1 minute silence. The lives of Nigerians should begin to matter to us.
Build a counter-terrorism centers in these affected areas.
With the 2024 budget passed, this hallowed chamber will go serene and quiet as lawmakers proceed on recess to reconvene on the 23rd of January 2024 with hopefully fresh ideas and strategies that will enhance the legislative business. From the National Assembly, Mitaire Ikben, NTA News.